Students, hi, this is Kurganon. And so I'm putting together an intro to US history video for you because I thought we were all going to be together tomorrow and you are asynchronous today. So I'm going to go through my syllabus, tell you a little bit about the class, and then you are going to take an intro survey and you're going to learn how to do some note taking. So kind of easy intro. So I'm going to first start just talking about myself. So I opened up my other course that I teach is world geography, and this is a PowerPoint, but I thought, I've got some pictures here that you can see a little bit about me. So I have been at Monarch now, I think this is like my 13th year, and I've been teaching almost 30. So I'm crazy old. Most of it has been in BBSD, and I'm living the dream. I love working here at Monarch, and I especially love US history. This is my favorite class to teach. So things about me, though, let me look through here. I'm drinking a lot of smoothies. I've got some kind of gross green smoothies that you're always going to see somewhere off to the side of the camera. This is my family, hard to see down there. There's my dog Bear. I've got a cat named Winchell. I love camping and going outside. And I don't know if I can talk enough about how much I love coffee. Love coffee. Over quarantine, I started trying to get in shape with Chloe Ting, and then I realized that's for 25-year-olds. These are my kiddos. This is Meredith and Hal. They were seniors last year. They're at CU right now. They loved going to Monarch, by the way. There's one of my best friends. There they are. And there's my cat. And there's my husband, Dave. He works as a financial analyst here in Louisville. Other weird things about me. Grew up in Wenatchee, Washington, which is central Washington. And I was Sporty Spice. I did about, you name it, I did it. I was high jumper and soccer goalie and track runner, and I did a little bit of everything because I loved being active. Right before I went to CU Boulder, I was living as an exchange student in Finland. So I spent a year there. Some of you have been in my World Geo class, and I've talked about that. In fact, as I was looking down through the list, I know so many of you in my class. I'm so excited to have you back. We're going to have fun. So let me talk about this class. So we are going to be together for a year, this whole semester here, with US history. But because of the constraints of online learning, we don't have a textbook. I mean, I do have a textbook, but we just don't have enough days and hours in the day to read the textbook like I usually teach the course. So you guys are going to take notes on lectures, but I'm going to kind of provide a Cliff's Notes version to US history. When you look at my course, you will see that I'm crazy organized, almost to a fault. I've planned out on our weekly agenda here, everything we're doing all the way to March, May even, because I already made second semester for you. So you can see I've got hyperlinks, and here is everything that we're doing. And some of it doesn't link because I haven't created the assignment, but I know what we're going to do. So I'm excited about that. Other things I was going to show you here. Here's where you go to class. So one of the things you should try today is just make sure the link sends you to a Google Meet land and make sure that it goes, because that's where I'm going to meet you guys tomorrow. Now, I know that the district put a new requirement that you should have your cameras on the whole time, but I think online school is already hard enough. So I'm going to compromise with you guys that for right at the beginning, just to say hi, come in with your cameras off and then shut them. That's fine. But there are a lot of activities through class to make sure that you're still there, because I teach freshmen. I know they take off and I'm talking to an empty void. So you will have some accountability during class. And regarding links, I got to stay focused here. Regarding links on here, I've got the how to come to class, and then I'm waiting for it to load back again. All right, here's how to go to class. Here's when you need to come to access time, different link, and then my weekly agenda on what are we doing each week. And so we have about 8 different units this quarter, and then 8 different units next quarter, where we are going from the reconstruction of US history all the way to current, the age of Trump. So The weekly agenda, you can peek in there to see what's expected for the week. And then in each of these folders, as I unveil them, you'll see what are the assignments for the week. And generally, I'll post these on the Monday, and then because that's our launch day, and then they're not due until Friday, because you guys are juniors and you're juggling some pretty difficult classes your junior year. And I want to make sure that you are able to budget your time appropriately. So Friday is kind of my due date for everything, unless you are needing extensions. And then by all means, you always reach out to me over email and ask for extensions. And I'll always say yes if you contract it with me. So why don't I talk a little bit about my syllabus just in general, so you know what the expectations are for my class and how I am going to be graded, or how you're going to be graded. So, and I as I told you, I'm getting old, so I got to put on my glasses for this one. So I frame this course looking through different lenses. So as we are talking about U.S. history, we are talking about the good things that have happened in U.S. history and the challenges, and how we are always working for a more perfect union in our country. So there will be several different lenses that we will continue to look through. Gender, because like when it said all men are created equal, they did not mean women at that time. We're going to be looking a lot at race, because that, even in contemporary society, has been bubbling up. And we're going to look at the size and power of government, because at different times in history, government's been big or government's been small. And that kind of accordion of government, we're going to analyze the why. And I'm hoping that you will be reflecting on what kind of future you want, because you're going to be voters. This course really helps give you the foundation for what kind of society do we want to live in. And knowing what has happened in history helps you make better choices for the future. Because I want this participatory, I want to talk a little bit about Wednesdays. So I've tweaked our schedule a little bit so that on Wednesdays, you are going to have a small group discussion, and you will either be in group A or group B. So I'm going to show you our schedule down here. If you end up signing up for group A, then you come in at 10, just like you usually do for class, and everyone else rolls onto the call at 10:20. Then we have 40 minutes of class. And then group B is going to hang and stay for the small group graded discussion, 11 to 11:20. Now, this kind of scaffolded Wednesday, it's too late to spring it on you. Like, we can't just start this tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll have you sign up for, do you want to be part of group A, or do you want to be on part of group B? And you may have to kind of like see who else is in the class to decide like if you want to get in a group with people that you know. I am going to lead you through discussion topics, and you are going to give your opinion about that topic. For our first one is we're going to be talking about liberty and equality in American society. And so next week is where that small group discussion is going to happen. What if you're really shy and you have nothing to say, or you're really kind of a listener and you are listening to everybody's ideas, but it's scary to like put yourself out there. I will allow for you to make up those points with a written reflection. So if any of you have taken Mr. Mainland's Current World Affairs class, it's kind of like that. Like I'm going to allow for participatory discussion for people to share their opinions. But if you want to just sit back and reflect, well, then you'll still be expected to participate with written reflection. Okay? So let me go back up, show you more about my syllabus here, because you do have a quiz on the syllabus. So one of the questions on the quiz is, when am I available? I'm available all the time. Like, I'm like basically living here. So the only time you can't get a hold of me are Mondays. Otherwise, ask me questions during class, ask me questions during my planning period, which is 4th, or ask me questions during access time. I'm always here, 8:30 to 4. So another question that I ask you is, how are you going to be graded? So you are going to be graded in 2 categories. For online learning for this crazy pandemic year, you either have the big stuff or the participation small stuff. That's it, 2 categories. As far as my record so far with students, I have only failed 1 student, which is fabulous because I don't want anybody to fail. And that student failed because they didn't come to class. So you can count on that. If you come, you are going to pass. And I help you pass. I at times I'm a little in your business because I'm emailing you and wanting you to turn in things, but this is the last course you have before college. This is your last social studies class. So I want you to come out of here with as strong of grade as possible. And I make all kinds of accommodations. I take your late work. I will modify the work for you if you need it. I will accommodate you in all kinds of ways because I really want you to be successful. And it's really important to me that you not only do your best, but I'm hoping that you love U.S. history when you're done with this class. So you're going to be graded 25% participation. That's coming to class, trying to participate, say things on the discussion days, and try to get stuff in on time. And then the big stuff is everything else we do, all the formative and summative assessments for our course. I'm forgetting a couple things. I want to just tell you what's going to be our flow. So I came up with a flow that I thought was going to work for online learning. I don't want to just let you go asynchronous every day because partly I like to talk and I like to get to know you and I like to know what you think about U.S. history. So my flow is going to be Mondays are going to be kind of a arm yourself with information, and it'll usually be a recorded lecture you listen to on Edpuzzle. Then Tuesdays are going to be all me, the whole period. I'm going to be lecturing and talking and doing stuff. And so Tuesdays are my day. Wednesdays are all of our days. Wednesdays are where we have our small group discussions and we talk about U.S. history and we have maybe some participatory lecture stuff. So there'll be some talking going on Wednesdays. Thursday, I'm known for doing some pretty wacky creative projects. And I've had a lot of my students say, hey, Kirganen, how do we even do you in online learning? And I said, well, that's a good question. We're going to figure that out. So I still want to do me in this environment. I've got Thursdays devoted still to some of my renowned creative projects. So you can count on Thursdays for being creative projects. And then Friday, because I know you're busy and you are trying to stack this class on top of other really challenging classes, I'm going to let Friday be kind of just a check in and go. And then you'll do Friday on your own when it works for you. Might even be on the weekend-ish. And then we'll start a new unit on that next Monday. So that's kind of my flow. Me, me, us, creative, you. So I have that right here. Our course content, since we start after the Reconstruction, we're going to go all the way into World War II before spring break. And then when we come back after spring break, if you're still in this course with me, we go Cold War to War on Terror. And course supplies. The only thing you need for this course, besides your computer, is probably a spiral-bound notebook, because I'm going to ask that you take notes on all of the lectures. Since you're not reading, and I don't have any reading assignments for you, your responsibility is, in a very college-like way, to take notes on the lectures. And whether it's a recorded lecture or it's a live lecture that I'm doing, I'm going to ask that you take notes, which is why one of your first activities will be to learn how to do note-taking. We'll teach that in a second. So those are your course supplies. Here's our schedule. 10 o'clock every day is where you're going to click the link to come in. Unless it's Wednesdays starting like next week, we'll do that staggered schedule when you know if you're an A or B. We'll talk more about that later. Okay. Yes, you know how to reach me and find the information for the class. Oh, attendance. I need you to do attendance every day. I'm going to have a little tiny check-in question to make sure that you are there. And sometimes that's not going to be available at the start of class. Like, you're going to have to hang with me until I make the attendance question available, because I'm too often talking to an empty void and the students have left. So I don't want to talk to an empty void. I want to know that you're there. And if we get through the subject matter and we're done, then we can get off early. We don't have to stay on the whole 80-minute call. But expect an attendance assignment every day. And the assignments that are due in class, like the attendance assignment, you have to have it in by 4. If you are pretending that you were there, but then you like later we're going to hit the attendance, but because you really weren't there, well, I'm not going to let you turn that in late. So you have to do the daily activities in class. Anything bigger, you get the whole week to do. Okay? So attendance is going to be important for me because that's part of your participation, and it's you showing up and being here, which by the way, I'm just really glad you're here and you're hanging still, because online school is by far the hardest thing I have ever done. And again, I've been doing this like 30 years. Let me look through my syllabus to see if there's anything else here. Oh, class expectations. I talked about the camera. Just so I can see you at the beginning of class, and then we can go ahead and shut it because it helps things stream better. I did forget something. I'm hoping that we open up full. Like that's where it seems like our school district is headed, that we want to open everything up and just go for it. And if we do, then we have really great movies for the second semester of class. And so I just want to show you the movie titles, because these are titles that we don't watch all of them in entirety, but we'll watch bits and pieces. But if for some reason there is, and some of them are restricted, they're rated R because they have adult content like related to war or violence. So it's important that your parents look through this list and see, is there anything that they're not comfortable with you watching? And then I'll have an alternative assignment. If you're already 18, then you can make the decision for yourself if you want to watch it. Okay. So, all right. So I've talked about the course. I've talked about the syllabus. I showed you the links to the course. I have showed you the parent permission slip. Okay. So I think then what are we doing today? Let me get out of these. So many links. Okay. So when you go into my first folder today, there are going to be a couple activities that I want you to do. And so you're going to click into this pink one, American Identity. And it says course introduction materials. I've pretty much gone through this already. I've blabbed all to you. But the one thing that I didn't talk about yet is the Get to Know You survey. There's a little Google survey there where you can share privately with me some of your interests. If you have special learning plans like 504s or IEPs that I need to accommodate you in class, or just really anything that you want to share with me, that's survey you have to take for credit. So sometime before Friday, you're going to take that survey. Then also in this folder are 2 quizzes, actually. I was about to say 1 quiz, but I put 2 quizzes. So I've got 3 if you count attendance. So you're going to take attendance in this folder for today. There it is. Take the attendance question. Then you are going to take the syllabus quiz because you sat through this long lecture of me talking to you. So yes, get credit for it and answer the syllabus questions. And then the last kind of meaty activity that you need to do today is note taking. So there's going to be lectures almost every day for this course. So my expectation is you're taking notes. I do not need to be able to read your handwriting. No, but you need to be able to read your handwriting. And what you are going to look at here is different ways to take notes. There is a short video that you're going to watch and gives you some options of how to take notes for college. Because again, this is your last class before college. I prefer the Cornell method, which is double column notes, but you can choose what method works for you. At the end of the week, you need to show me your notes. So how do you show me your notes? Well, if you look at the submission button here, when you click that, there's a camera option. And I did this for my AP class last semester. It worked great. And in that camera, you can just show me for the camera here, here's my first page of notes, here's my second page of notes, here's my third page of notes. And so you just make a quick little recording of your handwritten notes. Unless you're doing typed notes, then you would just upload the file. So I'm asking you to do notes every week. I want to make sure I give you credit for that. So they're due by Friday. unless you need an extension. And so I want you to figure out what is the system that's going to work best for you. And then when you are done watching that video, there is a quiz. Again, on did you watch the video? Because so much of this course, I need to just check, are you still there? Are you still participating? And so that's some easy questions there to check and see if you watched the how to take note-taking video. So gave you a lot of info. Whoo, your head's spinning. What do you need to do? What do you need to do? You need to, number one, go back over, look at my syllabus, take the syllabus quiz. Number two, watch the note-taking video and take the note-taking quiz. Number three, you can mess around with the links and see and make sure that everything works and make sure that you know how to come to class tomorrow, because I'll be looking forward to seeing you at 10. And then number four is I need that intro to you Google quiz, and I'll make sure that I put links all over the place so you can hit that. I think that's it. That's a lot. I would have much rather have done this like face-to-face or in person, or at least in cyber person. But I found out last minute that this all needs to be asynchronous. So really excited to be teaching U.S. history to you and to have you here. And for some of you, just to have you in class again is a joy. So I hope you had a great winter break. That's the attendance question is, what did you do over break? I saw a bobcat and I included the picture as proof, which is kind of cool. All right, I think I've talked enough. This was a long video. Thank you for being patient, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Later.